This is the Ringconn Gen 2 Smart Ring. This ring seems to have it all. It's ultra thin, the thinnest smart ring I've seen. It has continuous health tracking, including sleep tracking. The battery life lasts an industry-leading 10 to 12 days on a single charge. Oh, and probably the best part in my mind, once you buy this ring, there's no subscription. You get a great app experience and all the health metrics without spending another penny. This ring really seems like the complete package. There are some things that wowed me about it, and there's still some areas that I think could use some improvement. So let's dive in. I'm reviewing this Ringconn Gen 2 ring after having it on for the last month, and while Ringconn was nice enough to send me this review unit, they had no editorial input on my reviews, so let's get it going. Quick update from Future Dave. I've been told by Ringconn that the Gen 2 is about to have its biggest sale ever. During Amazon Prime Day from July 8th through the 11th, you can get the Gen 2 ring at 30% off using one of the links in the description of this video. Now you can buy it directly from Ringconn or go through Amazon. I've also got a discount code to use, so be sure to use that at checkout. Oh, and do not forget to get the sizing kit first. Alright, back to it. Okay, let's start with the price, the unboxing, and what you get when you buy the ring. The Ringconn Gen 2 comes in at $299 US, and like most rings, you'll get a sizing kit in the mail, and I do suggest you use this. For instance, here is a comparison between the Ultra Human Ring Air in a size 10 and the Ringconn Gen 2 in a size 10. You can see these are not the same. Once you have your ring size figured out, you'll get your ring within a few days, and here is what you're getting. Your ring is there, front and center. You also get this charging base, which is quite nice. Has some good weight to it and a little pad underneath so it doesn't slip. You get a braided USB-C to C cable, a quick start guide, and a manual and a large assortment of languages. The rings come in 4 colors: Future Silver, Matte Black, Royal Gold, and Rose Gold. And it should be noted that all models are $299 with the exception of Rose Gold, which comes in at $469 US. I myself went for the Matte Black option and think it looks quite nice. Taking a look at the materials now, the Gen 2 is made of what they deem aerospace grade titanium, and I have been very impressed with the durability so far. I've used the ring during quite a few workouts with barbells, and yeah, it looks spotless. I haven't experienced that with any other ring. Now, Ringconn states that they use a PVD coating on their rings. PVD, which is physical vapor deposition coating, is a high-performance thin film technology that enhances durability, hardness, and corrosion resistance, and yeah, it seems to really make this thing bulletproof. The interior material is a medical-grade epoxy resin. The ring is IP68 dust and water resistant, which makes sense, it's all sealed up, and it's waterproof to 100 meters. The ring is also quite thin, which I really like. This ring reminds me of like a normal ring. I guess if you've got some bear paws on you, then a thicker band will feel more natural. But for me, having something a bit thinner is huge for day-to-day comfort. It is, of course, extremely light, with my size 10 ring weighing in at just a few grams. And moving on to battery life, I am floored at how good the battery life is on such a small device. Ringconn states that their battery life is 10 to 12 days, and I didn't tweak any settings out of the box, and I just hit over 13 days before needing to charge. That's right, I think Ringconn just undersold the best battery life in a ring. So for comparison, the Aura 4 advertises 8 days, and the Ultra Human Ring Air gets about 4.5 days before it's done. When you do need to charge it, this charging case has a battery in it, so you don't need to worry about having that plugged in to charge up the ring. When I charged from 10% to full, it only took 70 minutes for me, and the base itself holds 15 to 20 charges. So you've got like around half a year's worth of charging in there before you're needing to plug everything back in. I mean, that's pretty cool. Ringconn does note that if you're using the OSA feature, that will impact battery life. And that's obstructive sleep apnea, by the way. Yes, this ring has sleep apnea monitoring. Speaking of which, let's jump into the features. So this little guy tracks heart rate variability, blood oxygen levels, steps, distance and calories, stress, and menstrual cycles. For sleep tracking, it has a normal tracking that you'd expect with sleep stages, and it also has that sleep apnea monitoring I mentioned. You of course see all of that in the mobile app, so let's take a look at that next. So starting off, you'll see this is the home screen here. This is the Insights tab, and you can see they kind of show you everything up top. You have your sleep, your vital status, your activities, your relaxed status, and you get a little bit of feedback there as well, depending on how things are going. You have your sleep section and score, your activity information for the day. This was an active day for me. Stress score, vital signs. Exercise tab is where you can start those 3 activities. That's all you can start with it. Sleep apnea monitoring, and notes down at the bottom. So jumping into sleep apnea monitoring, this is what it looks like when you go through the testing. It's done over a 3-day period, and I went through it, and my numbers are all normal here. Oh, and if you want to turn on and off different sections within the app, you can do that as well. For example, for women, it will default to have the period forecasting on. Okay, moving on to the plan section. I'll show when I've actually used this plan in a moment, but for now you can see what it's like to join a plan. It asks you some baseline question and sets up some metrics for you to aim for, with the idea being it will make adjustments on a weekly basis according to how you are performing in the plan. So here's a weekly update. After being in the plan for a while, you can see that it adjusts sleep goals down, step goals way up, activity up, relaxed status down. So the idea is, as an example, like my sleep never hit that 8-hour mark. So now the AI is saying, hey, maybe we could get you to 7.5 hours and take it from there. So trying to meet you where you're at to make the goals achievable. So it's sort of just kind of moving the goal line up or down depending on your performance. Here you can see some of the chat functionality that is within the AI section, and it is extremely limited. You have some predefined questions you can touch on, and well, there's not much there. It's on the same level as other basic LLM-based AIs you can find in fitness platforms, and honestly, probably a bit more raw than most others. I mean, you can't even type in your own questions. It's not even like a chat bot. So here you can see I could ask how I slept, and it said I scored well, even though I slept for 5.5 hours. So, I mean, yeah, thanks to my toddler and my infant for that one. Anyways, yeah, that's kind of a weird reply, but like I said, it's not a strong suit of this whole offering, and definitely in beta, like they say, maybe even early beta. Okay, so moving on to trends, I do like this. You can see weekly reports here. You can see yearly reports, weekly reports. You get sleep analysis. You can get some insights from these. So it actually kind of coaches you up on what to do with this. Total time of sleep, bedtime, etc., etc. You know, it's pretty good. It actually gives you some information there, and you can look at historical data as well. And keep in mind, there's no subscription for any of this. Other health tracking apps charge when you want to access some of your historical reports and data. And then under the Me area, you just you see the ring, some badges, some data management settings you get, upgrade the app, upgrade the ring, that sort of thing. So that's about it there. And overall, yeah, pretty good. So of course, any of these pages you can go in to see some additional detail. You have your scores, you have your rating. You can give your own rating. So how do I feel? Let's say poor. Total sleep time, sleep stages, you know, all this sort of stuff that you would expect here when you go and dive into any of these different menus. You have all that information there. And that's about it there. So if I were to offer some criticism, aside from the very basic AI implementation, the mobile app is a bit plain looking compared to some competitors, but I guess that's really just a matter of preference, as Ringconn does effectively show all your metrics in an easily legible manner. One area I think it can improve is to be a bit more proactive with recommendations. Now I know this can't be done by live data from the ring, since the app pulls from the ring when you open the app and sync. But once it forms longer term analytics, there can be some general advice extrapolated that would make the ring experience a bit more front of mind. For instance, if your sleep duration is struggling all the time and it knows what time you're going to bed and you're not getting enough sleep, maybe at 9:30, says, hey, try and be in bed by 10 if you want to get your full sleep. Things like that are very simple, but it could still be a little bit more instructive. Now I'll say I wouldn't want to go as far as Ultrahuman does, and their notifications can be a bit excessive. But aside from an abnormal high heart rate I had once, which was an elevated heart rate like an hour or so after a very demanding run in the heat, and I got a little battery warning once, I think those are the only 2 notifications I've ever gotten from the Ringconn app. So let's take a look at how the tracking and accuracy compare to other devices. Right here we have the Ultrahuman Ring Air, the Coros app reading from a Pace Pro, and the Ringconn app. I should note the watch and Ringconn were on my left side. The Ultrahuman Ring was on my right hand. So we can see step count is 14,374 on the Ultrahuman, 14,941 on the Coros, and all the way up at 16,803 on the Ringconn. I did some additional checking on this, and it does appear that Ringconn reads steps just a bit higher than those two devices, regardless of the day. I think it's probably just a bit more sensitive, and maybe like during my workday, I'm typing a bunch. Maybe it's reading those movements as steps. I don't know. We can see that sleep is at 6:35 with 8 hours 5 in bed for the Ultrahuman, 7:38 with 8 hours 1 in bed for the Coros, 7 hours with 7 hours 58 in bed for the Ringconn. So the only thing they all agree on is basically total time in bed. I'm pretty sure the Ringconn and Ultrahuman are a bit closer here, as I was awake during the night, again thanks to my kids, and I think the Coros didn't register those as waking events, so I think those sleep time is a bit off with the Coros. Taking a look at heart rate variability, there's just a range on the Ultrahuman, 34 to 47. It doesn't give an exact average, that's kind of a pain. It looks like it's about upper 40s, 49 on the Coros, and 52 on the Ringconn. So all look pretty similar here. Finally, let's look at average heart rate in bed. So I had 59 on Ultrahuman, 57 with Coros, 56 with Ringconn. Again, all are pretty close. I'd say the 56 and 57 are probably a bit more accurate based on other devices I've used. So it looks like the steps run a bit high with the Ringconn Gen 2, but the sleep duration, sleep stages, HRV, and HR all seem pretty accurate. So what are my closing thoughts on the Ringconn Gen 2? I really like the size of the ring. It's not too thick. I like the feel of the ring compared to other brands. It's the closest thing to an actual ring that I'd normally wear. Battery life is extremely impressive. I can't believe that with a relatively smaller size of the ring, it can beat out all of the other popular brands. I mean, to me, that's huge. The metrics seem accurate when compared to other rings and even watches. The sensor picked up sleep, heart rate, and heart rate variability all pretty consistently. And I also really appreciate the PVD coating, which has kept this thing looking completely new after some pretty heavy usage. If I want to offer any criticism, it would be that the somewhat plain aesthetics of the app could use some upgrading. The AI feature is extremely basic. I mean, I say it's beta, but come on. As well as the lack of a more proactive notification to guide habits during the day. Overall, I think it's an extremely compelling package at a good price point and without any ongoing subscriptions. Ringconn definitely has a winner here, and it deserves some attention if you're looking to get a smart ring. So what do you think? If you're looking for a smart ring, would you consider the Ringconn Gen 2? Hey, Future Dave here one last time. Don't forget you can use the links and the discount code in the description to save some money if the Ringconn Gen 2 looks right for you. And don't forget your sizing kit. Are there any features you think should be added to make it an even more compelling offer? Do you have any questions about the ring I didn't cover in the video? Let me know in the comments section, and as always, I'm Dave, and this is Dave Does Fitness. Have an awesome day, and stay fit.